Hi, everybody. This is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion, your host, the Hut. Well, here we are in the eighth inning. The Blue Jays are winning 4-2. They need 3 outs in the eighth inning, and then, of course, they need 3 outs in the ninth inning. Big home run by Bo Bichette in the third inning. They walked Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and he just crushed the ball to dead center field. The Dodgers have been trying to come back in this game. They did an interesting statistic, a historical statistic. The Dodgers have played they played 6 games, 7 games in their history. So they've gone to the seventh game 6 times. They're 2-4, and the most runs they've ever scored in any of those games were 2. Isn't that interesting? The 1955 World Series, they won 2-0. I think what was the other game? 2-0. was it was it something in the 60-63 against the Yankees? But anyway, so the Dodgers are losing. They've not had a good series offensively, the Dodgers. And I think that 18 inning game kind of wore them out a little bit in this series. I can mention the base running in this series has been lousy, but the at bats last night for the Blue Jays, which is terrible, but they were much better in the sixth inning when Jimenez got a big hit and Clement got a big hit. This ball is going to be down the line, a home run by Max Muncy. So it's now 4-3. In this game, Max Scherzer started the game. He pitched 4 1/3 innings, pitched really well. Kind of reminded me of, I don't know why, this is my historical brain, of Grover Cleveland Alexander coming into the 1926 World Series to defeat the Yankees, but he came in relief. That's what I was thinking of. But Muncy just crushed that ball off of Savage. And they brought him back in on short rest. Ohtani didn't have it on the mound tonight, folks. Had nothing tonight. I just got home a little while ago, so I'm a little behind on what's going on. Strike one, swing and a miss to Oscar Hernandez. He's had a lousy series. The seventh inning finished with a double play. Freddie Freeman hit a ball to Vladdy Jr., and he threw that ball to his ball up the middle. Bo Bichette to Guerrero. 2 outs. But the play of the game so far was a double play by Guerrero. The ball was hit right down the line that Freddie hit sharply to him. Instead of touching first, he drew the second. They got the force play, and then Bichette threw the first on just an amazing, an incredible double play. Now, of course, please like this video and hit the subscribe button. So Schneider's coming into the game now. He's going to come and take Yosevich out of the game. I wonder who's going to be the MVP of this series if the Blue Jays win this thing. Maybe it's him. Maybe it's this kid. He's pitched really well. Be interesting to see what kind of career he has. And who's coming into the game? Can't see. They got the freaking. But anyway, so we got Game 7 now. The Blue Jays need 4 outs to win this thing, and it's going to get awfully tight that ninth inning. So the Blue Jays get this out in the eighth inning. It's going to get awfully tight for the Dodgers. It really is, quite frankly. The Dodgers have had just a very good season. There hasn't been any real super teams this year like there was last year with the Dodgers. But we had a lot of good teams in baseball. Very sort of up and down season. Now tomorrow on the baseball at the big channel, I will have a live stream, which will probably be the regular live stream on Sundays at 7 o'clock, and you need to be there or be square, as they say. But I will be doing a live stream probably regularly there. I wanted to do this stream here tonight because this channel is different than the other channel is. This is not so much about the Mets; it's about Major League Baseball. I'm going to do live streams here on a regular basis. We'll see. But I'll be on a little bit longer than normal. I was going to go to bed soon, but with the clock falling back an hour, and we'll get to the end of this game. And because we're getting to the end of this game, I should be able to stick around another 20 minutes. This game should be over in about 20 minutes, I would think, unless it goes into extra innings. But I will be on until at least 11:30. So even if they go extra innings, that's it. That is the cutoff point for your host. I have to be up early tomorrow. But of course, please like this video and subscribe to the Baseball Hut 2. Let's go back to the game. So, like I said, the Dodgers have 4 outs in this game to play with. But 1 out in this game, in this inning. They have to do something in this inning. Fastball. On the outside part of the plate, he pulled it. A 4-3. Who's in the pitch for the Hoffman? Jeff Hoffman. He could be scary. We've seen him with the Phillies. He could be scary when he's closing these games out. That's for sure. 1-0 pitch, 2-0. 2-0 pitch to Tommy Edman. Tommy Edman has realized that he's not going up against the Mets this postseason like the last postseason. Here's the pitch. Strike 1. Splitter up high. Now, of course, like this video and subscribe. We're going to get the last out of this game. Hopefully, we'll get the 9th inning. Here's the ball, ground ball to second. Picked up by Bichette to first. 3 outs to go for the Blue Jays, for the Toronto Blue Jays. 3 outs. And for a team that Michael Kay said was not a first place team, they're about to become World Series champions. And I'll take some crow too, because I didn't think they were going to have a good year. Just due to the fact that they've been sort of in between the last few years. I think the biggest thing they did, and I talked about this a couple times, is the fact that they re-signed Guerrero. They didn't want to be a team that lost another Guerrero. Guerrero leaving, his father leaving 20 years ago, that really paled, just put it's a terrible cloud over Canada, really. I don't think the Blue Jays wanted the son to leave after the father left. And then they lost that other team. I was telling somebody tonight that the last time the Blue Jays won a World Series, the best baseball in baseball was in Canada, because you had the Blue Jays that won in '92 and '93, and then you had the Montreal Expos with the best record in baseball in '94, and then we had the strike, and that basically killed not only baseball in Montreal, but it also killed baseball for a long time in Canada, because they really didn't get a chance to celebrate their second championship, and they didn't have any kind of chance to go to postseason. A second time in the history of that franchise. And then 10 years later, of course, they had to break the team up, and the team moved to Washington. But here we are. You would think that. So now we have 3 outs away. So we just got to get to the bottom of the 8th inning, and I'll do play-by-play. I thought my play-by-play was pretty good last night for that double play, a very unusual double play. The base, like I said in the videos, the base running in this series has been horrific. And it wasn't much better earlier in the game. I guess Guerrero struck out, and George Springer got thrown out at second. Hold on, I need a drink. Look. So it'd be interesting to see if the Blue Jays are able to get another run. They could use another run just to give them a little bit of cover. I think there's a possibility that Ohtani might be coming up in the 9th inning. I don't have the lineup in front of me, but he might be coming up in the 9th inning. So, of course, please like this video and subscribe to the Baseball Hut 2. I don't normally do live streams here, but I thought last night was such a fun live stream, and it was such a great ending to that game last night that I thought it would be fun to do it again tonight, and with the daylight savings time. So Sheehan's pitching. He's going to pitch against Clement, swing and a miss. He's an aggressive hitter, isn't he? hit 379 in the World Series, but his at bat last night was terrible. Got to take some pitches due with the starter coming in. The Blue Jays need another run in this inning if they are to win a World Series. That way, it gives them a little bit of cushion. And like I said, I believe that Ohtani will be coming up in the ninth inning. I believe he'll be coming up. So we'll see what happens here. Here's the pitch. 1-1 pitch to Clement from Sheehan. That's a long fly ball to left field, out in front. 1-2. 1-2. Long season this was. If you're a Mets fan, it's a very difficult one. Understand the Mets are going to be naming a third base coach very soon, probably tomorrow, and they have a pitching coach. His name's Justin Willard. Here's the 1-2 pitch. I wouldn't know Justin Willard if I fell on him. I saw a picture of him. He looks like he's related to Ron Howard. But we will be doing stuff on the Mets starting tomorrow. Seems like the Mets are going to have their coaching staff, the more important pieces in place. Here's a 2-2 pitch to Clement. That ball's a long fly ball into left field. That's going to be a double into the gap. Another hit for Sheehan. Long double. Surprised he didn't hit the bottom of the fence in that spot. Clement has 30 postseason hits, the most of any hitter. Boy, unbelievable. If he had one more yesterday, they would have won the World Series last night. So you got to get this runner over the bottom of the lineup. So you would think that Jimenez, they'll try to get Jimenez to bunt over Clement there. He tried to do that in the seventh inning, but he actually got a hit, got a long hit in that situation. Now Sheehan's coming out of the game. Dave Roberts is taking him out. They need this run. They need this sort of tack on run. And now Blake Snell is coming in. Blake Snell's coming in. Does that guy always look like he's high or something? Is it just me? He looks like a sloth to me, quite frankly. He really does. I don't know about you. You won't get this anywhere else on any other channel talking about the players like this. Hey, they make millions of dollars. I don't have to worry about myself. They can't take it. I don't know what to tell you. But we now have a man on second, Clement. Number 9 hitter will be coming up in Andres Jimenez, former Met, former Guardian, and he'll be asked to bunt. To me, I'm not a big fan of the bunt anymore, but in that situation, you want him to bunt him over. To bunt him over, or at least to drive the ball and try to move the runner over. Those are the two most important things. The most important thing is getting that runner over, either by bunt or by driving that ball in. So that is the most important thing in this at bat right now. The most important thing is not trying to anyway. The hell was I talking? Anyway, so the last championships they've been going over this 67. The Canadian. What the hell are they doing here? I think it's just in Toronto. Now, of course, please subscribe to the Baseball Hut 2. I welcome people that are coming in here. So it's 4-3 in the 8th inning. Andres Jimenez is going to be coming up. He's going to be asked to bunt, and George Springer will be up after him. I would think that they will walk Springer to pitch to Lucas, I would think. But obviously the runner has to be pushed over to third base. And Blake Snell is coming in. Blake Shelled. He looks like he's shelled a lot of times. I tell you that the pitching for both sides, they've really gone out of their way to bring in these starters in again to get them to pitch well. Historic postseason home runs for the franchise. 93, Carter, Batista 2015, and Springer, the ALCS in Game 7. Obviously, that was a big home run. And the 3-run home run by Bo Bichette. And Bo Bichette's probably going to be leaving Toronto. And if I were the New York Mets, I would talk to him. Every team's going to be talking to him. That guy can flat out rake. He can hit. I don't know if he can play. He certainly can't play shortstop, but he can hit. Now, Clement is on second. Oh, it's taking them so long. Oh, this goofball needs a mound to be perfect. Now, of course, please like this video and subscribe. So Snell's coming into pitch in this game. Like I said, he's got to bunt the runner over, and they will walk Springer to pitch to Lucas. You got to be very careful because obviously Lucas behind Lucas is Guerrero Jr. and Bichette. You got to be very careful. It's taking forever. Snell's a pain in the ass. They're doing a big deal of fixing this mound. A pain in the ass, really. This kills your momentum if you're the Blue Jays because this goofball needs the mound to be perfect. I'm a starter. I'm coming out here. The mound better be perfect. Let's see John Franklin complaining about about the mound being lousy. I can tell you that much. My goodness. Back in the day. This really does kill this slows everything down. I hate when they bring in lefties. Lefties are a pain in the ass. I hope you're not a lefty if you're watching. Lefties are a pain in the ass. I know a lefty in my life. She's a pain. But again, you have Clement on second. Jimenez will be up to be asked, and he'll be asked to bunt in that spot. I would think that in all likelihood they will pitch around Springer, or they'll just intentionally walk him to try to get a double play for Lucas. But you gotta be careful with Lucas because obviously he bats second for a reason. He can hit, so you gotta be very, very careful, extremely careful in that spot. You know, and you need the Blue Jays need another run here if they're gonna win this game. You need that. And here we have Don Mattingly. They're showing Don Mattingly in the dugout. Donnie Baseball. Played so many games, manager a long time, coach a long time. He's got a chance to win the World Series. Okay, he's going to be asked to bunt here. Yep, he's squaring around. Ball one, down and in. Don Mattingly, God bless him. Should be in the Hall of Fame. He should be in the Hall of Fame, Keith. And then I tell you, I'm not going to get started with this Hall of Fame business, but there's a lot of players that should be in the Hall of Fame that aren't. And Donnie's one of them. Here's the pitch. Bunted foul. Down the line. Out of play. Now, please like this video and subscribe to the Baseball Hut 2. I will be on the big channel tomorrow night at the Baseball Hut. We will talk about the Mets off season, and we'll talk about the season that happened. We're going to go all through it tomorrow, and we'll have regular live streams coming up. And I'll probably do a live stream on the Baseball Hut 2 sometime during the week. Squaring around, Jimenez. Here's the pitch. No, he's swinging away. Oh, man. Why are you doing that? This is so stupid. His line drive to the third baseman. Why are you doing that? Why are you taking the bunt off? This is so stupid. You're just overthinking it. You know, like, and I know he hit a line drive, but come on. I mean, look, in this spot, you want to remove the runner over, okay? That way you had the guy on at third. Now you don't have to worry about walking Springer. You're going to pitch to him. Swinging them, foul the back. That is a terrible play. That's put on by the manager. My goodness. So Springer's hit 421 in the World Series. Sounded good World Series. Always wanted him with the Mets. But my goodness, you can't have him bunting and then take the bunt off. Now you get the runner stuck at second. This is not thinking. You're not thinking ahead of the game. Schneider should have had him bunt. They would have walked Springer. Then you would have had Lucas, and you have the ability to bring in later on Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to hit. Okay? It's just so stupid. And the Dodgers are not a great defensive team. Okay? They're not a great defensive team. They're okay. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Springer. Struck him out. I'll tell you. This is why, first of all, now I hate the bunt basically because, especially late in the game, because you give up outs. But if you're up 4-3 in the World Series, okay, now you're gonna have Davis Schneider coming up, the pinch hit for Lucas. That's fine, but I don't like the bunt because I don't like giving up outs late in the game anymore. I used to be for the bunt. I used to be for the bunt for the pitcher. I got tired of that. Okay, most hitters can't bunt. You know that. You know that. I know that. Most hitters can't bunt. Okay, but in that spot, Jimenez is a guy that can bunt. Okay, he has to bunt the runner over, get the runner over, and it creates a different situation. If you don't walk Springer, you have to play the infield end. You have to sort of play the outfield halfway, not as deep as they would be if Springer were up with a man on second. And if you walk Springer, you got first and third with one out, and you would have went to the Schneider here, who's a very good hitter, and then would have had Guerrero Jr. in your back pocket. I mean, why? I mean, why are you taking off a play that makes sense? It makes no sense to me. Some of the things I've seen in this series, actually the last two games, specifically with the Blue Jays. Now, of course, please subscribe. And here's the 1-1 pitch to Schneider. Here's the pitch down and in, ball two. Now, if he walks, he's got to pitch to Guerrero because he just has to. That would be the matchup that the Blue Jays want. Obviously, that's not the matchup that's the matchup the Dodgers are trying to prevent. Here's the pitch, 2-1 pitch. Excuse me, with two outs. Clement on second. Strike two. Outside corner. Schneider's 2 for 9 in the World Series. Hit a home run earlier in the series. Now, of course, please stick with your host until the end of this game. Who knows what kind of call I'll have. Last night's call was unexpected with the double play that ended the game last night. Here's a 2-2 pitch to Schneider from Snell. Struck him out. Well, now we go to the ninth inning, folks. Fasten your seatbelts. Ohtani will be the third batter up. They needed that extra run. So now we are 3 outs away from the Blue Jays possibly winning the World Series. Now just hold on. I got to take care of something. I'll be back in a second. But, of course, hit that subscribe button and like this video. We 3 outs away from the Blue Jays winning the World Series. So the Toronto Blue Jays have not won a World Series since 1993. They won back-to-back World Series in 92 when they beat the Atlanta Braves and Atlanta. And then, of course, the famous Joe Carter home run against the Philadelphia Phillies, which amazingly enough, that was a very high-scoring series where the team scored a lot of runs, and it came to the end with Mitch Williams struggling to get through that ninth inning because if I remember rightly, Kurt Schoen had pitched great that night, and they brought in Mitch Williams to finish out the game. He finished the game all right, and they were down 3-2. And you had the famous walk-off, the second walk-off to end the World Series in the history of baseball. It's amazing. In 120 years, you've only had 2 walk-off home runs in the history of the game to end the World Series. That's what's so great about the game is that you have these unusual, because the game is so old and they've been playing these games for so long and they keep records of everything. You get a good sense of the game in a lot of ways. So we're going to get to the ninth inning very shortly. Just waiting for the stupid commercial to end. And of course, please like this video and become a member of the channel. Become a member of the Baseball Hut too. And I will be back tomorrow on the Baseball Hut, and we'll talk about the baseball season, we'll talk about the World Series, what the Mets are going to do. Can't wait to get started. I'm chomping at the bit. Been chomping at the bit since game 1 of the series. Didn't think this would go 7 games, I'll tell you that. Yep. So the Blue Jays are 3 outs away from winning the World Series, and we will see what happens in this game. Been a long time since the Toronto Blue Jays won a World Series, and since Canada has been so good in baseball since '94 is the last time you had a great team there, and that was the Expos, and of course the Blue Jays. Here's the first pitch to Kiki Hernandez, inside. 1-0. 1-0 pitch to Hernandez. So Ohtani will be coming up in this inning. Boy, I tell you, the Blue Jays not getting that run in the 8th inning. That could kill them in this game. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss on a slider. Hope you're enjoying this live stream as much as I'm enjoying doing it. I should have done this the whole time during the World Series. This is fun. Better than me sitting watching the game. You can participate. And I could have came on a lot earlier. Here's the pitch to Hernandez, a 1-1 pitch, 4-3 Toronto on the top of the 9th. Fouled it off. It is now 1-2. 1-2 pitch to Hernandez, who's been a great postseason player for the Dodgers for many, many years. He's bounced around from the Dodgers, the Red Sox, the Dodgers. But he always comes back to the Dodgers. Like being in a bad relationship. But it's actually been a good relationship. So the pitch struck him out. 1 out in the 9th inning of Game 7 of the World Series. The fans are feeling it. They're 2 outs away from ecstasy. Haven't felt that in a long time with the Mets. That's been a long time. 1 out. Hernandez has struck out. Hoffman is going up against Miguel Rojas, who was an infamous Mets killer. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss on a slider. 0-1. Strike 1. Shohei Ohtani is on deck as the next hitter, and he will be coming up in this inning. It was so big that the Blue Jays did not get a run in the bottom of the 8th. Should have gotten that run in. Here's the 0-1 pitch in the dirt. 1-1 pitch. What a tough 8th inning they had. They should have bunted the runner over and taken their chances from that point on. Because then at that point, you would have thought either Springer's going to get walked or Springer's going to be having a different mentality with a runner on third. But that didn't happen. But here's the next pitch. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Rojas from Hoffman. Here we go. Ball 2, 2-1. 97-mile-per-hour fastball down in the dirt. Now, of course, if you don't know, tonight is you got to push your clocks back. That's why I'm on. Kind of had sort of forgotten that they had to push the clocks back. There's a 2-1 pitch to Rojas with Ohtani looming on deck. It's the pitch. Popped him up. That ball's going to go to the right side. Foul. 2-2 pitch. Got to get this guy out. Because you don't want Ohtani to be the go-ahead run at the plate. If he ties the game up, he ties the game up. You don't want it because then you put yourself in a precarious position. Precarious position of being behind in the 9th inning. You don't want to go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Losing. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fouled it back. So that was a fastball. He's probably going to get a breaking ball in the next pitch. Probably not a slider here to Rojas. Hoffman's thrown 13 pitches. This is his 3rd batter in this outing for him. Ohtani's on deck. Here's the pitch. Oh, boy, that's close. Inside slider. Boy, oh, boy. 3-2 pitch. Boy, oh, boy. Rojas is putting up a good at-bat here. He knows he has to get Ohtani up. But like I said, just Ohtani's getting up no matter what, and he will be the tying run if he makes it out here. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Rojas. Don't walk this batter. If you're the Blue Jays. Here's the pitch. That ball's going out. The home run. The game is tied. Boy, oh boy. I told you, Met killer. Wow. Home run. The bat went on too long, and he was scuffling. Boy, oh boy. What a stunner in Toronto. This is why you need that tack on run in the 8th inning. That tack on run was huge. 4-4 in the 9th inning. Now Otani's coming up. He could put them out in front. And then you have behind him Mookie Betts. Here's the pitch. Popped him up, boy. He's hit that ball hole, boy. Right at the track. Oh, man. 2 outs. Wow. Hit a line drive. Wow. Boy, oh, boy. This reminds me of the 2001 World Series between the Yankees and the Diamondbacks. Alfonso Soriano hit a home run to put the Yankees ahead, and then the Diamondbacks came back and won in the 9th inning. Wow. That's what makes baseball so great. You get a guy like Rojas. Oh, I'm sorry. Will Smith is up. That's what's so great about baseball is that you get a guy like Rojas who's basically probably his career is coming to an end. Hits a home run in the 9th inning of Game 7 in the World Series. But here's the amazing thing. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Will Smith, strike 2. There's deflation here by the Blue Jays, but they have a shot in the 9th inning. So get out, they don't have to face. This is what's so great about baseball is you get a guy like Rojas who has not much of a. He's had an okay career, but then they have a big moment like that. 0-2 pitch, ball in the dirt. See, I said the other day that Jeff Hoffman was a lousy reliever. This is a guy you can hit. Because I seen him for a long time with the Phillies when the Mets would face him. The Mets would just beat the tar out of him all the time. So Vladdy Jr. will be leading off the 9th inning. That you can't like script this any better, folks. And then of course you have Bo Bichette up behind him. So the best players on the Blue Jays will come up in the 9th inning, but Hoffman has to get this last out. You can't give up any more runs. And Smith is a very difficult hitter. He's a great hitter. He's a catcher. Ball 3. But Hoffman is he's just a piece of he's not a good reliever. You know, I said that. Dominguez is warming up for the Blue Jays. That the Blue Jays lose this series, they only have themselves to blame. Strike 3 out of the inning. Yeah, the Blue Jays lose this World Series, they only have themselves to blame because they had a shot to win this thing last night. They had bad at-bats in the 9th inning. They had a chance to put this game away to a certain degree in the 8th inning here tonight by getting a run and an extra run, a tack-on run in the 8th inning. They didn't do it. Now, the one good thing here in the 9th inning now is their best players are coming up for the Blue Jays. You got Guerrero coming up. You got Bichette coming up. And that gives them a shot to win it. So this is how this World Series has been. 7th inning. I mean, we had this 18-inning classic. And now we're going to get we had a great 6th game. And now we have a really off-the-charts Game 7. Now, I would mention, because this is postseason, Ghost Runner does not take place. So we go to the extra innings. Will Smith will not be on second. So there's no Ghost Runner. But I will be on for a little bit longer. Hopefully this game is over soon. So I do have to go to bed. But this is a great World Series, great Game 7 if you're a fan of baseball. And to see how much fun this has been. And you should like that as well as a fan. So we got Game 7, The game is tied going into the bottom of the ninth inning. Let's see if we can get a walk-off World Series winner here. If not, probably in the extra innings. And who knows when this game will end. We do know one thing. One team will go home happy, and one team will go home very sad because this has been a hard-fought World Series by two really good teams. We had a very strange season in Major League Baseball, but the postseason and the World Series have been really great. The World Series has been great. And Blake Snell, who was not a reliever, is going to pitch another inning. It'll be interesting how he handles himself, as he could be a little goofy, that guy. World Series history: the Dodgers a 265 record when trailing after 8 innings. Holy shit! Last win, the 1988 World Series, Game 1. Wow, 265 record when trailing after 8 innings. Wow, that is just incredible. Wow, 265. That's a lot of games. A lot of games. So the best player on the Blue Jays is going to get a shot. If he does something here, he will be the third player to hit a home run to end the World Series, and he's their best player. Their whole season turned around when they signed him in spring training. Interesting to see what kind of at bat he has. He'll put a good at bat together. Here's Snell's first pitch to Guerrero. Ball 1. But again, all they have to do is push one run in. 1-0 pitch to Guerrero. Ball 2. Also have to keep in mind, like I said, you have a starter who is not known to go deep in games, and you're asking him to get an out in the ninth inning in the World Series. This is hard. This is not something you teach. This is a 2-0 pitch, 3-0. 3-0 pitch. So I would think that Guerrero will take another pitch here, and then he'll swing 3-1 if it gets to that point. But, of course, please like this video and hit the subscribe button. Here's the pitch. That ball has a shot. Oh, he got under it. Oh, man, he just got under it. He just got under it. Hit right off the end of the bat. He should have taken a pitch. What was that pitch? Oh, it was outside. He should have taken that pitch. He just missed it. Oh, man. Right at the track. You know what? He should have taken that pitch. Here's the first pitch to Bichette. 0-1. He should have taken that pitch. I say he should have taken that pitch. Because it wasn't a strike. It was borderline strike. Ball 1, 1-1. Boy, oh boy. What, 10 feet away from winning the World Series? Here's the 1-1 pitch. 2-1. I mean, keep in mind, Snell is falling behind. So, and he's falling behind against the right-handed hitters to the right side of the plate. So, with Bichette, with Guerrero, he pulled that ball. That's why he missed it. Line drive, that'll fall in front of Hernandez. Everybody's playing deep in the outfield to play for they're trying to protect against the double. Bichette's going to come out of this game for a pinch runner. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. But the problem with that home run, that almost home run by Guerrero, is he tried to pull that ball. Just thinking about the at bat. Kind of Falafa be pinch running. But with that home run, almost home run, he had a pitch to hit, but he pulled it. He probably would have been better off taking that pitch, like I said. And if it was a strike, it was a strike. It wasn't that good of a pitch to swing at. Barger's up. Ball 1. And he's had a very good World Series, although he had a terrible base running gaffe. Yamamoto's up in the bullpen. Here we go again with this guy. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Barger. He's had quite the season. 2-0. So he's fall behind the first 3 batters in this inning. It is difficult to finish out a World Series and to pitch in the 9th inning of the World Series. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Barger. Strike 1, and he got the call on that one. Now, of course, please like this video and subscribe. Here's the next. Here's a replay on it. It's borderline. Curveball. There's a 2-1 pitch to Barger. Strike 2. That could have been a ball too. That was low. Like I said, one team's going to win this thing and one team's going to lose it. And whoever loses is going to be kicking themselves the whole off season. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Barger. Swing and a miss. He fouled it off his foot. Here's the pitch. I didn't show him replay. I hit it right off his leg. So I got 2-2 pitch here. But like I said, he's fallen behind the count to the first 3 batters in this inning. So he's kind of searching for his command here in this inning, even though he's got the 2-2 on Barger, so lefty hitter. And of course, I'd like to thank you for watching the live stream. Be back again tomorrow on the big channel, the Baseball Hut, talk about the Mets offseason, talk about the World Series here, what the Mets need to do. I know the Mets are going to be announcing the rest of their staff either tomorrow or Monday. Justin Wills is probably going to be named the pitching coach. I don't know who the third base coach is. So we'll see where the Mets go. And then, basically Monday the offseason begins where players can get signed. I think they get be signed tonight after this game's over. Boy, oh boy, Miguel Rojas. Who would have thought that guy would have hit a home run? Somebody must have told him Met was up. Was pitching for. Yeah, so here's the 2-2 pitch. Here's a little squib. That goes foul. Somebody must have told Miguel Rojas that he was hitting against a Met. That guy is a Met killer when he was with the Marlins. And it was a line drive home run to left field. So this is a tough at bat for Barger. Be interesting to see if he gets on base, if they'll bring in Yamamoto to face the next hitter. Got kind of Falafel on first. He's done nothing but stand there. Fouled it off again. The longer this at bat goes, the more that Snell becomes less effective. Because in this kind of at bat, you'll have him basically doing every pitch that he has. And the kitchen sink at Barger, and Barger's getting a better look at what he's throwing him. He's already thrown 7 pitches in this at bat, so this is already a long at bat. This is a lot of pressure. Whew. Man, I'm glad I'm not playing. I can handle this pressure, I'll tell you that. And 50,000 people watching and the whole country watching you. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Ball 3. Now, it'll be interesting to see if Kiner Falefa is going to be running. I would mention Kiner Falefa is a relative of Ralph Kiner. We learned that this year, or was it last year? This year, that he was related to Ralph Kiner. Ergo Kiner Falefa. He's like a distant cousin. Here's the 3-2 pitch. It'll be interesting to see if he runs. Ball 4. Ball 4. The runner was not running in that spot, but ball 4, we got the winning run on at second base. Now the noose gets tighter. The runner on first doesn't mean anything. That runner being moved over to second, that's the game right there. Long at bat by Barger. That's a great at bat. Snell can't complain about that last pitch because he had a couple pitches given to him by the umpire. Alejandro Kirk is up. This guy's a good hitter. He can hit. Yeah, he's not going to pitch to him. They're going to bring in Yamamoto. What a World Series. What a Game 7, folks. What a Game 7. We will see what happens. They're going to commercial now. We'll see who wins this ninth inning. Because it's all about the inning now. You can't, like, if you're on either side, you can't look at it. The stakes are so high. You got to look at a guy that's coming up, Alejandro Kirk. He's the most important guy I have to get out. And Kirk has to tell himself, in this at bat, I can't do too much. All I have to do is get a single, and kind of Falafel will score. So all he has to do is hit a single. The runner on second doesn't mean anything. The runner on first doesn't mean anything. The most important thing is he's got to get that run in. He just has to get a single. He doesn't have to hit a home run. He doesn't have to do anything but just get a single, get a hit, make contact, do whatever you got to do. Now, if he hits a ball on the ground, it's a double play. We go to the 10th inning. If we go to the 10th inning, I'm going to bed. I hope we don't go to bed. As soon as this game is over, after this inning, going to sleep. Take it night-night. It's night-night time. So we're going into the ninth. We're in the ninth inning now, the bottom of the ninth. The Blue Jays have runners on first and second with one out. And they have to just get a single to bring the most important run is the guy on the most important guy on this team right now on this field is the guy on at second. That the guy on first doesn't mean anything. Just don't even think about that. All the Blue Jays need is to get a single here. They don't have to hit a home run. They don't have to drive the ball. Just get a single. You get that ball past the infield, you got a chance to win the game and win the World Series. And that's it. And Yamamoto has pitched great in the postseason. 4-1 and 1.35 ERA. Crazy. Just a great pitcher. So they had the stars come in: Ohtani, Glasnow, Snell, and Yamamoto. All his stars came in, and Ohtani pitched the worst of the four of them. This is not an easy assignment because he's coming back after not even a day's rest. He pitched last night, as you know. Here's the first pitch to Kirk, who's had a good World Series himself. Here's the pitch. Strike one. Here's the pitch, the 0-1 pitch to Kirk. All he needs is a single. He doesn't have to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Did it hit him? It hit him! He's going to first. The winning run is on third base now. Wow. Gary Varsho will be up at the plate. Hit him. Hit him right in the hand. Wow. Oh, hit him in the back. Oh, hit him in the forearm, the right forearm. Wow. So the winning run is on third base, and Gary Varsho is up at the plate. All he needs to fly ball, folks, to win the World Series. Wow. So all he has to do is hit a fly ball to win the World Series. Wow. Isn't this what we want in these games? Even if you're just an observer. Wow. Wow. Let's see where it hit him. Should then hit the bat. No, hit the bat. Hit him like in the wrist. Hit him on the right wrist. Going to the replay is a smart thing for the Dodgers. It doesn't hurt you. You still got another replay. You get 2 replays in postseason in these games. So Gary Varsho, Dalton, I'm all right. Dalton Varsho, whose father was Gary Varsho, who was a journeyman player, he's got a chance to win the World Series. Sure, they played a lot of games in the backyard. But Dalton is named after Darren Dalton, if you don't know. Sure, you all know that. Wow. So they're gonna have what are they gonna have 5 infielders? Oh boy, they brought in Andy Pajes to play for Tommy Edman in center field. They want a stronger arm out there. Because all you need is a fly ball now to win the World Series. Wow. Well, Dave Roberts came out just to tell him the change in the lineup where Pajes is going to hit. Wow. So Dalton Varsho, who you have a lot of players on the Blue Jays who had fathers in the major leagues. You got Dante Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero Sr., and now, of course, Gary Varsho's son. Wow. Those had Kevin Biggio on the team for a long time. Wow. Boy, oh boy. All they need is a fly ball. I'm sure the outfielders will be in. Infielders are playing in. Here's the first pitch. Ball one. Imagine a World Series ending on a walk. Wow. So 1-0 pitch here. The pitches get better, and this is what's tough about coming in relief, especially in this spot. Foul ball down the line. Wow. What an ending to this World Series. No matter what happens in this ninth inning. Amazing. What a great World Series. What drama. The most important runner is on at third. The other runners don't count for anything. Here's the pitch. Oh, strike two. Got the pitch. That's not really the borderline strike. Yeah, so no matter what happens in this ninth inning, I'm going to bed. So, just so you know. But got to make contact here, obviously. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. He's out at the plate. Wow. Rojas again. You can't hit the ball on the ground. They're going to take a look at this on a replay. Oh, that's awfully close. That is close. I don't know. That is close. Oh, I don't know. Was the catcher on home plate? Oh, I don't know. That is awfully close. Oh, I don't know. This is going to be tough. Oh, I don't know. That is close. That is close. No, I think he was safe. Boy, oh boy, I don't know. That is so close. He's off the base. But they made that call pretty quick. Wow. Like I said, I'm going to bed no matter what. So we got Ernie Clement here, who's had a very good World Series. He's had a good game tonight. He had a bad game last night. Boy, oh boy, hit that ball. It basically knocked Rojas on his heels. That ball was hit so hard. Here's the pitch. That ball is going back, 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 back. Oh, he caught the ball. Going to the 10th inning, and your host is going to bed. Wow. I'll tell you. Now the Dodgers got out of this one. I'll tell you, Dave Roberts bringing in Pa has saved the game. And I had the Dodgers got out of this game, boy. I thought he was safe at the plate, by the way. But I want to thank you for coming by. I can't stay up any later than this. I have to be up early tomorrow. But thank you for watching this live stream. We'll be back in the near future. Appreciate the people watching and listening to this live stream of the World Series. Have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your game, and I'll see you later.